So tell them to learn and write down notes and know that they're going to need repetition. Everyone does, but I need it even more. So that's my answer.
Yeah, I want to add in too. I don't know if y'all have ever heard Lindsay Matway talk about this at all, but it's kind of that, Janice was talking about, some coaches want to run, some coaches will only walk, and you can't tell them what to do. But she had a metaphor about the balloon poppers, and I kind of took it and twisted it a little bit. She talked about that game where you have the balloons and they'll kind of float down and you pop them up and then they float down and you pop them up. And my kind of like twisted metaphor is, I don't want to be at a birthday party where we're popping the balloons. I want someone who will take flight with me. I want someone with helium. You know what I mean? So some people require a little popping, but it's kind of like that. I mean, think about a relationship. It's kind of like you give them that time period to see if it's going to work out. And, there's only so long that you can hold the hand before you kind of go, okay, I'm going. And you can always come with me, but I'm going.
Yeah. Before you guys move on to the next question, can y'all hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay. I keep hearing a weird echo. Yeah, I was just going to add to that just a little bit, because my experience has been that we know the numbers of, for every 10 people that you invite to the business, 1 or 2 will actually say yes and want to sign up with you. And I also think that about, out of every 10 coaches that you recruit that say they want to do this, really only about 1 or 2 are actually going to do it. And so if you are only recruiting 2 or 3 coaches a month, you are never going to get there. And that's just a reality check for all of us, because, I've had a few months where I've only recruited 2 or 3 coaches and my whole business slows down. And so if you think about it just from a numbers perspective, this business is not so much about getting the people who say they want to do it, because we can't control other people. But making this business work for all of us depends on how many new people are we bringing in, because you don't know. You can't judge a book by its cover, and you don't know when that coach that you're bringing in is going to be your next rock star. And oftentimes it's not who you think. I have found that people who come in and they're like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to quit my job a year from now. I'm going to be making money. I'm going to be your next diamond. Like on day 1, 2 weeks later, they're completely AWOL on Facebook and I never hear from them again. But it's those slow and steadies that aren't really sure at first, that kind of want to check it out, that do want to work on themselves a little bit first. They're the ones that often 3-4 months down the road, they start hitting Success Club and they're like, oh, I do love this. I do want this. And so really, if you guys feel like you're stuck, and if you're an emerald or diamond and you feel like your problem is that the people you're recruiting don't work the business, then your approach does not need to be to try to get them to work the business. Your approach needs to go back out there and recruit new people and constantly have a steady influx of new people, because you just don't know who's going to run with it. And trust me, you can be like a hamster in a wheel trying to get your team to do what they say they want to do. And you're going to get burned out and frustrated and stuck, and you're going to slip in and out of diamond rank, and you're never going to get to that 5-star, 10-star level if you're trying to get people to do things. Your only responsibility is to have a steady influx of new faces into your team so that you really can accidentally find those amazing people. When I look at the diamonds on my team, half of them just fell into my lap by the most odd circumstances. They weren't people I went out and found. God just put them in my life. And the reason I love them and they fill me up is because whatever I'm doing, they do it. Or they bring ideas to me, and they're go-getters. And they don't make me jump in that hamster wheel and like run. They just are self-motivated and they do it. And I accidentally found them. And they just happen to come into my team because I'm always actively recruiting and actively bringing in new people. So just a little tidbit there on that question.
No, that's so good. Shay Stanford said at Summit, it's like my favorite quote I've come away with, the answer to every single problem that you find in this business is more people. Period.
Absolutely. Yep.
Love it.
Absolutely. All right, next question.
You want me to read it?
You can go.
All right. So the second question was, how do you convert challengers to coaches, or coaches to customers? Or, yeah, challengers to coaches or customers. Okay. It seems like if they are ready, then they are ready and get a challenge back. I rarely get a challenger to convert. They get results and then say they can continue on their own. So, you know, I always lead with 2 options with enrollment. I learned this actually I stepped away from doing it for a while and didn't realize that that is what was working for me. And once I went back to that, saying, okay, when they say they want to do this and we hadn't talked about the coaching opportunity, I'm just going to go ahead and tell them there's 2 ways to enroll. There's one that makes more sense than the other. One's with a discount, future discount, one's without. The price is the same. I have the scripts for that, and I can share it with you guys if you don't already have it. I didn't make it. It's not mine. It's a huge document of amazing stuff. I personalize the crap out of it. Don't use it as is, please. Just promise me you won't use it as is. It originally said cold scripts at the top. I don't use it for cold scripts, but I'll talk about that later. I might not, let's see. Actually, I typed this up too. I said I might not be the best person to answer this because I really don't feel like and I don't like to prejudge. I'm not saying I prejudge, but I like to just give them the options. And I normally can kind of sense a person based on 2 things: how much they're on Facebook. If they're not on Facebook very much, I'm not going to worry about converting them to a coach unless it's in their best interest. As in, I will tell them about the discount, but that's not the only type of person I want to convert into a coach. Like, think about the people you want to run with you in your business. Who do you want to be your sisterhood? Who do you want to be your tribe? Those people that come to you and say they want this. Yes, those are the people you want. You can give them the information, and I never want to hold out. I think it's a gift that I should never keep to myself. I think I should always give them the option. But there's just certain language in this company that I don't like, and convert is one of them. Honestly, I don't like it because it's got to be something that they want and that benefits them, not me. It's not about me. And at the end of the day, my whole newness about this is this: I want this to be my ministry. And so I can't treat this like a business anymore. So I can't put those words in there anymore. I'm not getting people. I'm not converting people anymore. And I just know that God's going to bless and bring someone just like me into this business, just like me, that needed this. I needed this to save me from where I was. So converting is more, for me, just giving them the opportunity, telling them about it, and listening more to see where their needs are so I can meet them where they're at.
That's awesome. Likewise, I lead with the VIP sign up. Listen, do you want this to last for longer than 30 days? There's always a 30-day get out of jail card. You can always send it back and get your money back. I make sure I give them an out and a lifestyle option at the same time. And then sure, there's plenty of people who are like, I'm not all about that. Let me just sign up with a challenge pack, right? No big deal. A couple of tangible strategies. One, make sure that you are creating a rollover option every single month. You're not running a challenge group and then piecing out and starting a new challenge group. It's hey, in this last week of the group, I want to know how you can keep getting support from me. What I have done is this is purely for the purpose of staying engaged in the My Challenge Tracker app. I find way better engagement and participation in Facebook groups, but there's a lot of value in the My Challenge Tracker app because of the accountability. They can track, they can put their stuff in, and when Beachbody's doing something like the health bet, I want them to have that opportunity too. So purely for that reason, I have a continuous challenge group going on in the My Challenge Tracker group. Now I go in and I schedule, I don't want to say random, but general wellness stuff in there. I'm not running a specific group in there. I'm not teaching them anything new. I'm not focusing on, spiritual development or high fat nutrition or anything like that in there. It's purely for wellness support. And so they always have the option to roll over into that group and just stay connected and be able to log their Shakeology and their workouts. But I always invite them into my next actual challenge group, wherever I have like specific focuses, or if we're doing a certain program or whatever. That way they know like, oh, I want to keep going with this. I don't want to stop. I'm not done. And some of them might be. I think I saw, they said that they can go on their own. And that's okay. Just check back with that person, put them on your list. This is a follow-up every month. Hey, how are you doing on your own, right? Then I do have probably once a month, I'll go into my orders. And I love the Coach Mobile office now because you can just look at new orders, right? And anybody who's paying full price for Shakeology, I look at them and I'm going, okay, are they consistently doing this every single month? If they've been doing that for 3 months, they're getting a message from me. Hey, Wendy, what are you thinking, girl? You could be saving $20 a month. And they don't always bite right away. I remember I was so close to 2-star premiere in December. I sent out like 28 messages to customers going, oh my gosh, you need to upgrade to Coach. Oh my gosh, you need to upgrade to Coach. And I mean, like 4 converted to Coach before the end of the month. But they're there, your customers are there. So check on them. Let them know, hey, I see you're consistently getting Shakeology, or you've gotten it every other month, or whatever that looks like. Do you want to know how you can save 25% on that if this is, you want to stay doing this? That's what I do with them. And I use the name Wendy because she's an awesome customer of mine for years now. And I think I gave her the link to upgrade like 3 months ago. She just did it 2 days ago. I'm like, yay, Wendy, save that money, honey. But anyways, I just stay connected with the people who are consistently engaged. And then the last really kind of comment I have on this is that make sure they know what's involved. And, Janice does this too, and she has great terminology for it she might want to add, but I don't call it the Coach membership unless it's somebody who's interested in coaching. I tell them it's like a VIP membership, and that they have the opportunity to reap the rewards of a discount and like discounted shipping and all of these things, but also they can receive a referral commission if they ever want to send customers to me. Because what they're doing is working. They have zero interest in helping other people, but they want, this happens all the time, right? People go, oh, hey, so-and-so wants to reach out to you, or, oh, my sister needs this, or whatever. Well, hey, guess what? I can teach you how to find your link, give it to her. I'll talk to her. I'll help her decide what program to use. I'll coach her, but she's going to buy through you because you need a payback for paying it forward, period. So those are the ways that I would address conversion. And I agree. I think this is a platform for connecting with people and impacting lives. So being careful about what your motivating factor is for converting. Is it to get more coaches in your downline, or is it to do what's best for them, or to potentially be able to explore the potential that person has, if that makes sense.
And when you were saying, what do I call them? I got this from a girl named Michelle. I call them accountability coaches, which I thought was so smart to not say discount, right? Because if you say discount, then you get cheap people. And I don't mean to be that way, but I am the cheap person. I am that cheap person. Like I was always looking for the best deal, and that's why I signed up for the discount. So I'm not going to discredit them, but I want to give them another name, because really what it did was it held me accountable. So I like that. And so now in my wording, when I say here's 2 options, there's an accountability coach, or there's, you can run it like a business, your choice. But yeah, so maybe that's the thing, is if words are that powerful of what you say in speaking to your future, then words are powerful, the ones you use to market and run your business with.
Absolutely.
So just take an inventory on things that you're saying. If you're attracting a certain type of person, what are your posts saying? I don't know. A long time ago, I led with the whole discount thing. Like on my personal page, hey, anybody want? No one wants a discount on your Shakeology. They're not even interested in your Shakeology. You just never know how you're going to come across. You might have another thing is, while we're at this, just because you see another coach do it doesn't mean they're having success with it. So that's why it's so important not to copy paste.
Absolutely.
I used to do that. That was the biggest mistake I ever made in my life, is to go, oh, that just speaks to me. I'm going to copy paste. Of course it speaks to me. I'm a coach. We're not talking to other coaches. We're talking to people that are broken and hurt and lost and scared and frustrated and been deceived 1,100,000 times. Those are the people we're speaking to. So we got to change our language.
That's good.
Do you want me to go with number 3? Or Miranda, did you have anything?
Yeah, I always have something to say. First of all, I love just the little pieces that you guys are dropping in that are different than what we normally say. I don't even know where to look right now. I keep looking at my laptop, looking at my phone.
Okay. Right there.
Okay. Hello. And so I wanted to say a couple of things just to react to things that you guys shared. First and foremost, you guys always hit Success Club 10 or higher, right? Like I see you on Melissa's recognition posts every month. And so you guys are getting quality customer leads that are already on Shakeology, and it's people that are just handed to you that you can go in and have that conversation with. After you see them on it 2-3 months in a row, you're like, hey girlfriend, you can save some money here. Yeah. And so the backstory of that for these coaches that are on this call, a lot of them are kind of new. You guys hitting Success Club 10 is going to help you find more people, better quality people, because you're getting Shakeology leads. If you're just hitting Success Club 5, you are only getting, do you get any leads anymore for 5?
You get customer leads.
Just customer leads, yeah. But you've got to hit 10 to get Shakeology leads. So if you guys want to have an easier time finding more people that take what you're doing seriously and appreciate nutritional value, hit Success Club 10. Just do it. Make it your non-negotiable. Yeah. And the second thing I was going to say as a part of this topic is that, once again, the whole concept, and I know a lot of these top coaches that share their systems with us talk about run amazing challenge groups and then convert your challengers to coaches. And so we feel like that's what we're supposed to do. Okay. Right. What I have found with the culture and the tribe of people that I have around me, and like attracts like, right? And so if you're on my team, you probably have a similar dynamic going on. That's why Janice and Amanda and all connect, because we have similar vibe. What I have found is that when you're doing this as ministry, you are going out with the purpose of sharing love to people who are love-starved. And when we're bringing people like that into our challenge groups, how many of us came onto this that way? I did. I know Jessica Heckel did. I know my best friend Brandy did. I know this is our team. And so when you're bringing people into your challenge groups that are drawn to you because you are salt and light, you are the salt of the earth. They are needing a time period to heal. They are needing to take care of their soul. They are needing to feel strong again, maybe strong for the first time. And so looking at that person as someone you need to convert to a coach might work in somebody else's team culture or the way they run their business. It doesn't work for me. I feel like my job is to submerge them in the most loving, supportive, positive environment I can, just like planting a seed in fertile soil. And that seed is going to sprout in its own time. Some people may fall in love with what you're doing within a few weeks and go, I want to do what you're doing. That's not my situation with coaches on my team. Oftentimes, the average is at like 6 to 12 months, honestly, of people consistently being in my challenge groups, staying the course, having a spiritual transformation where they feel like they have something to give to the world. And that takes time. So if you guys are numbers people and details people, and I know the coach that asked this question, and so she's a scientist, and that is her approach to everything, and I admire that deeply because I wish I was that way. But the reality for me, and the way this works for me, is that I can't look at my challenge groups and go, okay, this month I need to convert this many customers to coaches, and this is how the metrics of what I need to do. It's so much more organic than that. And so if you step back, again, from trying to think that you have to get your business builders to complete the form and do the GSR, and you have to convert customers to coaches. If you step back away from that, because you can't control those things, you step back away from that, and just like Janice and Amanda were sharing with us, help people, help them. Don't look at them as a number, offer them savings, give them the VIP opportunity to save some money, and do that coach upgrade, that accountability coach, that support coach, whatever you want to call it. it has to be about them, and it has to be in their time. And if you're constantly bringing in an influx of new people, you're going to find your rock stars. They're just going to happen. But you have to be bringing in 5 to 10 coaches a month consistently if you really want to see this thing go to an income producing, successful, actual business, you know?
Yeah.
And so just wanted to kind of throw that out there to you guys too, that you can't expect people to come in as customers and convert them to coaches just because your timeline says that's what should be happening. And again, maybe that works for some other coaches in this network. It's not my experience at all.
Well, and I think it goes right back to, if you're actively going out and signing up new people and bringing new people into this platform every single month, the people who are meant to be customers and the people who are meant to be coaches, they're going to continue falling where they're supposed to fall. But you don't get 50 challengers and then hope they become coaches over the next 6 months and don't recruit. You know, you have to kind of go out there and continue pulling. And that's why I think another consistency in all of this is make sure you are running a challenge group every single month, you know?
Yep.
Absolutely.
I had another thing I had written down here that I forgot. Another thing about, converting people to coaches is I'm constantly planting seeds, because what's your number one objective that you get? I don't have money, right? And so I feel like if you plant that seed right then and there and letting them know that this is an opportunity, that this might not be the right time for your opportunity. Obviously, they just said they can't buy a challenge pack and the cost was going to be the same. But I plant that seed right then and there. And that is if you want to call it conversion, okay, you don't need this just for, health and fitness. This could help you create an income, even if it's just to help pay your groceries, or even if it's just to help you afford your Shakeology or whatever. So, I plant the seed right then and there, whether they sign up with me 6 months later, a year later, or never. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, ready? Number 3, go ahead.
You want me to, or you?
You can go.
Okay. All right. So number 3, how do you emphasize the importance of Shakeology and make lifers so they don't cancel their HG orders? How many hours a day do you work, and how do you get people to stay on Shakeology long term? I think someone else had asked about the work.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to skip that on this question, and we'll answer that in the last question. First of all, I just tell people for the last 7 years I've been drinking it. So are you drinking it every day? Are you learning the importance of Shakeology? I think there's only been one time, and it's because of this rock star coach that I love and admire so much that told me that I was being too dependent on Shakeology. So I took a 3-day break, and that was Amanda. She told me to take a 3-day break because I wasn't eating healthy the other 2 times. I was being so dependent on Shakeology. Has anybody else ever done that? Shakeology's got everything I need.
I forgot about that.
Shakeology's got everything I need. I just can't get any of my other meals on track. Okay, so that's probably the only time I could think of, unless I ran out for a day or 2 waiting for my next bag. But yeah. I love it. And you have to understand a little bit more about it than just love it. Bless you. Chris says hello. So I remember one thing that I learned what I learned from Melissa is a call. You can search it, or a training. I think it's a training at a summit, and she was Dr. Melissa McAllister. That was one of my favorite ones because I told her what I was insecure at Shakeology, selling Shakeology when I first started. Can't push people to buy Shakeology. I just can't get anybody to understand Shakeology. And she said, go learn 3 new ingredients at least every month. Just learn something about it. And that video, I found that video, and it talks one with depression. I think that's why it helps me remember. And she had the acronyms. Not that I remember everything, but it does help me remember that it helps with, depression, which is something I had. There's ingredients in it that are so good and so powerful that it helps with that. So getting to understand and know Shakeology better so that you can educate your customers on that helps. Send them the video if you have to. If you could be like me and I have a hard time remembering the actual information and I don't sound smart when I talk, Amanda has that gift. And so just send them the information. Just tell them, don't take my word for it. You research it yourself. I'm not trying to scam you into something else. I'm not that person. I know that people prey on your emotions and your desperation. That's not me. That's not my goal or my focus here. And it's just like, and I tell them, it's like taking vitamins. I mean, if your doctor prescribed you something, by golly, you would drink it every day and eat it every day and take it every day. It didn't matter how many bad side effects you got. But my doctor said, well, okay, I'm your coach. And if you're paying me, then you should do it. I say, no, I'm just kidding. But, you know, you can relate it back to that. Like, how many people have you trusted with your health that don't have any proof that it works? I am your proof that it works. So you have to be proof that the products work. That'll help you too. Be on your journey. Be using it. Am I answering the question? And you can't get people to stay on long term. The first thing I tell them is you have 30 days. And it's super easy. In about 2 weeks, they're going to send you a reminder. And you can cancel that puppy. You can place a hold on that thing. You can change the ship date. You can change your flavor, because I learned early on, like Amanda said earlier, you have to give them a way out. They cannot feel trapped or bound to this. And, you know, there are plenty of people out there getting healthy without Shakeology. It's not that this is the end of the world. This is easier and a healthier way to do it, but it's not the only way to do it. So, you know, I lose people. I think I was going to look again before I started this call, but I think I only had 6 customers that stayed on Shakeology all year last year. Doesn't mean those are the only Shakeology customers, but I mean that they had it for 12 months in a row. Okay. So the numbers don't even have to be that high. Of course, we want them higher. We want everyone to benefit from Shakeology, but we want them to benefit from what we have to offer even more. So.
Yeah. Oh, that's so good. And you know, it's so funny you say that. I actually had the thought, I want to go check my numbers one more time too. And I didn't, but mine is lower the second year. You know, it's just going to be that way. So I would, without reiterating it, agree with Mom's, like all of what she said. The first thing though, is that I continue using myself as an experiment and an example. And you will go to my Facebook page and you will not see a dozen posts about Shakeology in the past 2.5 years. I do not put on the internet that this magic shake is why I'm healthy. And that point in case, because I don't believe that that magic shake is why I'm healthy. I'm healthy because I'm making good choices and I have a desire to fill my body and honor my temple for what its potential is and what its purpose is. This happens to be an amazing resource and tool for me to be able to fill in the gaps of modern nutrition. You know, I mean, and that's what I lead with when people come to me or when I reach out to people and they want to know what this deal is with Shakeology. Why do I have to do that? You know, that's a question we always get, right? Well, you need to buy the challenge pack. Oh, well, do I really need to do the Shakeology? Well, what's your goal again? You know, and what is it? 98% of the time it's weight loss, right? You know, yes, there are other things that come up first, but most of the time it's weight loss. And that's when I go to, okay, fitness is going to do you a lot of favors. Nutrition is going to make them happen. And environmental toxicity, modern processing, genetic modification, just natural hybridization. We are not getting the nutrients from our daily modern food that we would have gotten 100 years ago. You know, one of my favorite things to say is the grains y'all eat today, and I say y'all because I don't eat grains, are not the grains that Jesus ate. So I know that's always an argument. Oh, Jesus, the wheat came from the Bible. Well, it's not the same, and it's naturally hybridized. It's not all about conspiracy theory. And so being educated on that, and that's what I mean by this. I use myself as an experiment. I am constantly trying out new nutritional approaches. I am constantly, like Janice said, like, I'm going to go off Shakeology for 3 days and see how I feel. You know, I want to be able to tell people those things, not because I was told by Beachbody or someone brainwashed me or I saw a top coach say it, because I lived it. And if I lived it and I breathe it and I trust that, they're going to feel that. They're going to get that. I'm not going to lie to you, right? So I always lead with my experience and honesty. And like she said, always giving them that out, letting them know that you don't believe this is a magic pill. It's just a part of the 30-day experience. In order for you to be in the group, I want you to be able to really give it a go. And that's a big thing is, okay, do you want to come in and do this halfway and maybe get some results and maybe start, like my best friend tonight, she just told me, she's like, she needs to do the ultimate reset so bad with me next month. And she's like, well, I feel like I should maybe start gradually. And I'm like, do you want to gradually be healthy or do you want to change the way things are now? And so you got to go all in for this 30 days, and you can send it back and get your money back. So money is not an excuse unless they don't have it today. They always have an out. And I really make sure that they know that up front. That's my honest, genuine intention, is to let them know I am not pulling you in and not letting you out. You can always leave. You can tell me this doesn't work for you. I've had this conversation 3 times this month. This may not be a good option for you. You're not going to know that unless you try. So that's step 1. Now, getting them to stay on it, people make their choices. It blows my mind. I vent to Janice every day. I do not understand how a vacation to Disney in 3 years, because they're saving $100 a month, is more important than their current health. It drives me nuts, and I will cry about it, but I can't change it. So I ask people when I see a lapse, or when someone gets frustrated, and I can tell that, I know that, however, be it communication or their lack of participation or whatever, how are you doing with your goals? Have things changed? How are you progressing? Are you still, do you feel good about things? And they're going to do one of 2 things. They're going to make excuses, and you're going to have to cut your losses. Or they're going to tell you the truth and tell you how miserable they are. And then you're going to be able to say exactly what she just said, which is, are you doing what I told you to do? Are you drinking a Shakeology every day? Because if you took that out, again, it may not be the right thing for everyone, but you're not going to have nearly the results that you would if you were set up nutritionally from the base up. And that's what it is. It's a cornerstone of nutrition, because those are essential vitamins and minerals, meaning your body does not make them and it needs them. So if you're not getting them from the other food sources, then we're set up from a deficit. We're set up for failure. So that's kind of where I lead from. And then last but not least, this has been a new lesson for me. People are lazy. And as hard as nutrition is and as much discipline as it requires, it's not fitness. It's not having to go work out every day. It's, I can drink this shake. No big deal. So in December and in January, this has never happened in the history of my 2 years. I think I had, 8 Success Club points last month were from Shakeology orders, period. Single points. And then this month so far, I had 6 that were just HD orders. I can't wait till next month when those are 2 points. But I'm like, it clicked. It was like, every single one of the scenarios, they don't want to work out. They don't want to do my challenge group. They just want the easy way out. And because it's January, because it's February, they're listening, because they're going, I really need to get healthier, So they're going, I'll do it the easy way. I'll just drink this shake every day. So it's about connecting with your audience. It's about knowing what they need. It's about checking in on a personal level and not taking the responsibility of their long-term health. That was my lesson last year. Self-reliance is a sin. And I was putting all of the results of my challenge groups on myself, both in blame and shame if they didn't work out, but also in pride that I did this, right? No. You're a tool provider. You're a facilitator. And what they do with it is up to them. So that's my answer. Are we ready for the next one? Or Miranda?
Dropping bombs.
Yeah, I just want to slap a big old amen on all of that. And again, the common theme is that we can't make people do anything.
Yeah.
I mean, our job is to walk the walk and set the example and continue to show, like you said, your body's your own experiment. I love the idea of going a few days without it and then sharing how you feel. I mean, because raise your hand. Seriously, if you miss a day or two of Shakeology, you're like, why am I eating everything in sight? Why am I craving potato chips for the first time in 5 years? You really do notice it. And sometimes we forget.
Why haven't I taken a normal crap?
Exactly. Yeah. What's going on with my poop?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been like 3 days and nothing. Oh, that's funny. Yeah. No, you guys are so awesome. I absolutely love the truth that you're sharing. I think the one other part to that question, which was not connected, which was how many hours a day are you working your business?
Yeah.
Yes. I think you had stepped away or something. I know that question was asked twice, so I was kind of leaving that down here. They were asking like how many hours you work was the last question, so we were gonna.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You guys go ahead. Plug on through.
Okay.
Well, I think we have 2 more, the cold invites one and the hours one. Do you want to take cold invites first? Because I think you're better at that.
All right. Yeah. This is the link that I'll share with you guys if you don't already have it. This one says, I'm not a chitty chatty person, so I find it really hard to start up conversations with people just talking. Is that how you hit Success Club? Do you cold invite? Tips. Cold invites are scary for me. I have started adding people to my Facebook that I never would have before. I'm a private person. I have also never been good at striking up conversations with someone new. How do I best approach a person I don't know? So I don't miss any of this. I'm going to read my answer to you real quick because I love this one. I said, I personally don't cold invite, and I'll tell you why. And maybe if you cold invite, you're probably not really truly cold inviting either. You might say you are, but you're not. Hopefully you're not. I said, I've tried it and it felt icky. I felt horrible. When I cold invited, I only got one person to sign up, and you won't believe who this person was. This is a childhood friend I hadn't seen since I was 6. That's the only person that I cold scripted and got to join me. And I get cold scripts all the time sent to my inbox, and I'm like, I just don't do that. So I'm going to share with you like a good cold and a bad cold invite. So you can use scripts, but personalize them. That's one thing I really wanted to say. If you have a hard time connecting with people, there's a personal development book I recommend, which is called The Power of Charm. I had to read that for a master trainer audition camp when I was I was hoping to audition and work for Shalene Johnson. That didn't work, so I just poop on all that. So Power of Charm helps you realize that what I started this call with is it's not about you, it's about them. Good thing you don't like to talk, because this business works better when you don't. I put my foot in my mouth all the time because I am the talker. But really, if you truly just ask questions and sit back and listen, you're going to have more success in this business than I have. Because that's probably my weakness, is talking too much and not listening to what they need. Because I'm already thinking about all the things I could do for them versus listening to their hurts, their wants, their needs. And what are you laughing at me, Cammie? All right, so let's see, what else did I write here? So it's about listening to them. You'll probably have tons of success. I said that. Because I'm the complete opposite. Oh, so what I do for cold scripts are go and say happy birthday to people. I actually sing happy birthday. I haven't done that this month, which I don't know why. I've been like pushing for Team Cup. So yeah, I haven't really thought about doing it that way, but singing happy birthday to them, that is an invite. That's a cold invite. That is a connection. It takes about 7 to 10 connections for someone to trust you and listen to something else you might have to say, and it could be a happy birthday. It could be, I hope you're having a blessed day. It could be happy Valentine's Day when that rolls around. It could be Merry Christmas when that rolls around. It could be Happy Resurrection Day. I mean, just those are connections, and you keep doing that and you keep doing that, then you are okay. Or you can go to their page and you can like and comment on things that you normally would. Don't just be a weird stalker person and blow their notifications up and they have like 20 notifications from you like these weird men do to me. Okay, don't do that. You're like maybe three things max. It might be a like and a comment on legit things, okay? Don't say that, oh, your kids are cute, I have 2 kids too, and you don't have any kids. Don't do that. Let's see. I do more of a cold invite that you're talking about inviting them to a free group or a paid group, to people that like and comment on my post. Or if those conversations outside of Beachbody lead to that. That's how I cold script. So, and I do have scripts typed up, and I just copy and paste them in there, and I tweak them for that person if I've had some conversations going. Don't make it sound like a robot. Please don't do that. I get this. What is the one I got today? I regress. I'll have to go back, and if we have time, I'll read it to you. I was just like, really? Do they know what I do for a living? Like, they didn't look at my page at all. They have no clue what I do. No, I don't want to drink your, never mind. Let's not do that. But it usually leads me into their conversation. And if you haven't heard about forming, you're starting to talk more and ask questions, ask questions more about forming their family, their occupation, what they like to do for a hobby. Recreation is their hobby. And then ask questions like, say, for instance, you have something in common, homeschooling or pets or animals, or their job or hobbies, how's work going? If you saw that they were sick, Lord, just tell them, are you feeling any better? How easy is that, just to see that someone's sick and private message them, hey, I saw that you weren't feeling good. I pray that you're feeling better. I mean, people just don't stop to do that anymore. Do the things that other people won't. I remember Shalene Johnson always saying, write someone a handwritten note. And I'm like, I'm not doing that. I hate the mail. I hate the post office. Tell me something else I can do that doesn't take me going to the post office. But anyway, maybe you love going to the post office, so you can get little postcards or something with your team name or a scripture on one side of it. I don't know. Like, there's tons of Vistaprint cheap ways to do that. That's a connection. So I don't like cold invites, but I love connection, and I love using scripts so that my conversation can go better and I don't miss anything. I really like scripts for not forgetting to say something in a manner. Like I said, words are powerful. And so I want to make sure I'm using those words that make them think back to what they're needing, not my. Otherwise, I get too excited. And you've ever been around a used car salesman, and they're like, or any car salesman, not just used, and they get excited and then they start pumping you up and they start talking. I don't want to do that to them. I want them to be something that they need. We do get excited. We're not, and even if you're not thinking Success Club point, you're excited because you're talking to someone that wants change. Finally, you get told no how many times a day? 10, 11, 12, I don't know. So this one person, you can see that they want this, they need this, and they're ready for it, but you just don't. Those conversations do better whenever I have the script. That's what I'm saying. And then just keep that conversation going. And you know what I love doing the most is all my no's. I keep going back to them. I keep talking to them. Because something Amanda said earlier, or maybe it was Miranda, they have to have time to think and process things through. And so if you keep planting the seed and remind them, because it's truly not about me, it's about them, that's one way to prove it to them, that it's not about you, it's about them. Because if you just make a few connections with them and then you invite, they say no, and then you disappear, which happens still. I still miss people. It's not like I'm a perfect human being. But my intentions are to go back and say, I still care about you. Hey, I know you were saying something about giving up soda. How's that going? Just truly care. And I know we truly care, but do the things and action steps that actually show them that you truly care, instead of always just looking for the next person. Yeah, that was my answer. Don't think I missed anything. You got anything, Amanda?
Yeah, I'm not going to go too far because you are better than that. She gave a lot of good strategies that she does. But the couple of things that I do, it's the same answer as before. The answer to every problem in this business is more people. The more you are expanding your network by adding friends. I know part of this question was, I'm starting to add people on Facebook. This is so weird. You know what? I get those messages that are like, how do we know each other? Hey, you were a suggested friend. Have a conversation with the person. If they don't want to talk to you, they don't want to talk to you. So don't let fear be a driver in not expanding your network, number one. Number two is when they accept your friend request, go directly to their page whenever it is that you check your notifications. And I'll get to that in the next question during your day. But go to their page, just like a few of their pictures. Show some interest. You didn't friend them just to cold invite them, right? Right?
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Go directly to their page and just like a few things. And they're going to notice that. I mean, how many of us are scrolling our Facebook notifications, right? They see that stuff. And let the relationship grow organically. The next thing that I'll say is use Facebook events to promote your challenge groups and invite to the event. Way better than creating your I like leggings, LuLaRoe group and adding everyone you know to it, okay? Create an event and invite them. It gives them an open door. It makes it less scary. They don't act on cold feet and say no right away. They go, what's this? And 10 to 1, I get interested in my Facebook events more than I get going. My coaches all click going. Janice clicks going, right? Everyone else they're just interested. And that gives me permission to say, hey, you're interested in my event. Let's talk about what's going on with you. I'd love to tell you more. It gives you an opportunity to chat with them. And that may not always result in a sale either, but it results in a connection. Step one, planted seed. So that's really all I have to add to that. I think, yeah. And so if y'all, Miranda, y'all cool if we go to the last one? Or
Yeah, let me say something real quick on cold inviting. You guys are spot on everything that you just said, using the event page, not spamming them with some stupid message about, hey, join my challenge group, but messaging them and saying, hey, happy holidays, just connection. But I also wanted to say that don't forget that people are watching you.
Amen.
They may know a lot more about you than you realize, and your message to them doesn't feel near as cold to them as it does to you.
Right.
And I was reminded of this week. I was on a mastermind Zoom on Tuesday with 6 and 7 star diamonds, which I just sit in there. I don't even say a word. I just soak it all up. But if you guys know Rhonda Race, she's an incredible coach. She's so awesome. You should follow her on social media. She's so great. And she shared a few things with us about how she has a theme for her challenge groups. And she's a very strong Christian girl, so I really identify with her. But she talked about running Bible studies in her challenge groups, which Janice, I know you've been kind of doing something like that. I did it a long time ago, but haven't done it in a while. So I get really pumped up about my March challenge group and the study that I picked out for my challenge group. Mm-hmm. And I got so pumped up about it that it started inspiring my posts. Mm-hmm. And I was posting about it without actually promoting. Just talking about, the comparison is a thief of joy, and just, how we get caught up in comparing ourselves to others and so on and so forth. And so when it came time yesterday for me to sit down and actually do my inviting for my March 6th group, I started looking through the list of names of people who had just been liking my posts. Any post. I don't care if it was a picture of me and my daughter, or my food, or just some random quote that I gave. Anybody who I saw their name popping up more than once, I sent them what to me felt like a cold invite. And all I said was, hey, I'm reaching out to you because I've noticed that your name keeps popping up as someone who's liking posts on my page, and you're probably not interested in this, but I'm hosting this group on March 6th. I'm super excited about it. It's all about this Bible study we're going to do for 30 days. We're also going to work out, eat healthy. Can I send you more information? And that's all I said. And so they had already given me a clue that they like me by liking my posts. And so it felt like a cold invite to me. But you know what happened? I sent out 50 of those yesterday. 50 to people I had no prior conversations with. And these girls were messaging me back going, I love to follow you. I've been following you for 6 months, 12 months, 2 years. I've always wanted to do your groups, and I just never felt like I could. Thank you for reaching out to me. So they felt warm and fuzzy because of my invite. I was scared that I was going to be spammy. It felt cold to me. But because of the way I run my page, and if you guys are posting about your journey and you're posting from the heart, and you're sharing from your soul what you're learning about yourself along this journey, things you're overcoming, your beautiful family, your journey of life, people feel like they know you. And so when you reach out to them, like I said, it may feel cold to you. To them, it's everything they've been waiting for.
Yeah. And that's exactly what I don't like about the word cold. A lot of people think that means you have no relationship built with them at all. That's what network marketers and another company might say, is you just need to start spamming people, and that's not what we do. I know that's not what you do, because that didn't happen to you. You were not in this business because that happened to you, period. And so it is definitely, you have to have those connections. If someone is liking and commenting on your stuff, you darn well know that they are seeing you and getting to know you. I have one girl. I met her teaching free. I taught her a free PIO class in San Angelo. She likes and comments all of my stuff. And about every 3 weeks, I used to message her and say whatever I would say to everybody else. She's like, I just really like liking your stuff. I'm not going to do anything. I'm like, thank God you finally told me, because I'm so tired. I won't quit until they tell me no. So thank you. And now she still comments and likes all my stuff. It helps my stuff get in the newsfeed, more people, but there are going to be some of those people that don't quite understand maybe and I'm saying this in the nicest way, I truly do think that there's a screw missing. I mean, she's that type of person. But, you know, and so, because she'll say some of the things that make you think this is it. This is the time she wants to join. You know, she's even, But anyway, so, but most of the time, 99.9% of the time, when you're messaging people that like and comment on your stuff, that's not a cold invite anymore to me.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It can feel that way to us because we're scared.
Right.
We don't want to be spammy, but
Right.
to them, it's not for sure. And one other thing, I know we're kind of running over on time, but I just love everything we're talking about. And I know that those who are still on think it's valuable too, or they would have left by now. One other thing that I was going to say about this is that if you truly believe that what we're doing changes lives, then why would we ever be scared to connect with someone and invite them to know a little bit more about our journey? And if you're struggling with that, then it's more of a reflection of your own lack of belief in what this is than it is your lack of marketing skills.
Yes.
And so go back to the drawing board, you know, leave your Shakeology alone for 3 days. You know, eat like crap for 3 days. Stop working out for 3 days and see how you feel. Stop checking in to our challenge groups and our team page. You know, go, you know, do something else besides see your amazing news feed that's full of beautiful coaches posting all this great stuff, you know, and see how your attitude is. See how your demeanor is. See how your energy is. You know, and stop doing personal development for 3 days. How does it affect your mood? Are you as patient with your kids as you normally are? I mean, step away from it for a second. And remember, refresh your memory about how incredible what we are doing is. And when you believe in it down to your bones, you're not going to care if an invite feels cold to you. You're going to freaking go for it because you're going to look in that woman's eyes that you're inviting, and you're going to try to see into her life and places that she needs this to come into her life and change her life. And if you believe in it that strongly, you're going to be able to push past that fear every single time. And who cares if it feels cold to you? If you know your intentions are good and you're reaching out in love, then you shouldn't feel bad about it. It's warm, right? If it's coming from your heart, it's warm. It's not cold.
Yes, I think that's exactly why I don't like the word cold. When we were saying the power behind the word, you know, and like cold to me is the complete opposite of who I want to be. I don't want to be a cold, you know, and Amanda's never up this late at night. She's about to blow up out of her seat. She's having so much fun. This is awesome. So yeah, you know, you think with your intentions and your there's a word I'm looking for. It's not coming.
It's because it's so late. We're delirious.
It starts with an M. I feel like it starts with an M, a word that's it's kind of like intention, but you're
like your mission, like your motivation, like.
Well, it is like intention, but I feel like there's another word for that. Like, what is your true intention for this? And I know it's so easy to get wrapped up in Success Club points and all of those things. And I know we have to get paid for what we do. But I think that's whenever you say, God, I'm going to do what I can do, and you're going to do what I can't in this business.
Yep.
That's the hard part, that we have to stop trying to do it all on our own. See, Amanda?
So much good stuff coming up right now. And I heard it so awesomely put recently. And, you know, you get lost between that blind faith and how much do I need to do on my own, and how much, like, kind of like you just said, I heard it said recently, you know, give God your dream. Tell him what you want from this. What is your vision? And then say, if that's the path that I'm supposed to be on, show me. Do it. I'm giving it to you. You know what I mean? And whether it works out the way you think it's supposed to work out or not, like, you have to actually do that and give it up. The other thing that comes up is, you know, talking about, we talk about this concept of discomfort zone all the time, this comfort zone thing, right? Well, we get comfortable in our progress. We get comfortable in our routine and the vital behaviors and all this stuff. So everything Miranda just said just like blew up in my brain. We have to level up. And in order to level up, meaning you have to grow, you can't just stay here. you have to get into your discomfort zone. And sometimes that takes something called stepping back. And stepping back is not the same thing as giving up. So me giving up Shakeology for 3 days to see how I feel and test the waters is not me going, well, maybe this isn't really going to happen. Maybe this isn't really for me. Maybe this is only for successful coaches. No, it's going, hang on, let me reassess. I'm going back to base camp so I can adjust my altitude, and then I'm going to the top of the daggone mountain. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? That's what that's about. So check yourself where you are. Are you comfortable? If you're comfortable, you might need to level up. And to do that, you got to go back to the core of why you're here. Everything Janice just said.
Yep. Amen. Love this call. All right. I guess we better go to the last question and wrap up so people can go to bed.
It's a good one. I think it's good because I know Janice will have some, I'll start it, but Janice just started homeschooling her kids this year. Yep. So time has become like a big thing for her, and I'm excited to hear what she says. But the question was asked twice, how many hours a week do you work? And then there was this kind of add-on in one of them. I am having a problem with my time management and feeling constructive. How can I stay focused and know what to do? It's like my favorite thing, productivity, right? First of all, you can't manage your time. We all have the same 24. It is how well you are using your time that counts. When I was working at my full-time job, my staff hated me the last year that I was there because that's when God had planted that seed, and I had that still small voice in my head. I was listening to PD on the way to work and on the way home to work. And it was like, how can I use my time best here so that I can get to what I really want to do? And so everything we did, every decision that had to be made, it was, is this the best use of your time? Is this the best use of my time? Is this getting me to what I want? So I created a habit out of asking myself, is this the best use of my time? Sitting here now that I'm a full-time coach, and yes, I life coach, and yes, I teach group fitness classes and personal train, but it's all like small hours here and there. In my home, I can do laundry and dishes all day long. I can mop the floors and pick up dog hair. I can fold, I can do all of these other things. And it gets really overwhelming. You think about your job, you think about your kids, you think about your housework, you think about all these things. There's so much to do, and nobody is without that to-do list. Chunking is my answer to the question. Chunking. I don't know if you've ever heard of the Pomodoro technique. We can get technical about it, but we don't have to. It's taking small periods of time, 30 minutes, could be 15 minutes to an hour and a half, and focus that time on 1 to 3 tasks, period. Don't make a list. Don't take this list of a power hour with 10 things on it and go, oh my gosh, I got to get all this done, and get caught up writing invites and then feel like a failure because you didn't get to everything else before you had to be in an appointment or at your job or whatever. This is just as much mental and emotional as it is strategic and cognitive and behavioral. So taking this small period of time, they say set a timer, blah, blah, blah. You don't have to get that technical. Create a list of 3 to 5 things that you need to do and get it done. I've been using this, I've been using the Mastery Journal this year. It's John Lee Dumas's journal, but all it is his template for the Pomodoro technique. And he's, of course, making bukus of money on selling this journal, which is super smart. But what I do is I take and I put start time, finish time, and then what's the main task I want to accomplish. Now, we can all take a main task because we're here. And I know this is probably congruent to all of us. We can take a main task and create like 84 tasks under it because we have to do this before we do that. Have y'all seen, that coach CJ Miller?
Yeah, she's funny.
She did a video this week, and it's how do I even get things done? You have to go watch it. It's like squirrel all around her house. It's great. But she starts in one area, and then she's like, oh, but I have to do this first. Oh, but then I have to do this first. That's what happens. And so at the end, and this is where it's important, there's accountability. It's when the timer goes off or when it's 10:30 and I said I'd be done at 10:45, I'm going, I haven't even looked at the task that I set for myself. Do you know what I mean? So there's accountability to myself, and he has you rate it and all this stuff. But that's kind of stuff, it grows me. It fills me up because I like acceptance and I like validation, and I'm like, oh, I can give myself a 6 out of 10, or I can give myself an 8 out of 10 or whatever. So I like that stuff. But what I'm saying in all of that is that you have to look at the time you have. Amanda Dewey calls them hidden minutes. Look, and I teach this in my basic balance challenge that I'm doing. Do you commute? Voice chat is amazing. That's how we reach out to people. Do you spend 10 to 20 minutes brushing your teeth, your hair, and doing makeup in the morning? That's personal development time. You know, we have all of these hidden minutes in our day that we get so caught up in the overstimulated world we live in that we feel like we just don't have time. We all have time. We just have to use it in different ways. I hope that was helpful. I could talk about this topic for hours, but I'm going to give it to Janice because she has a new schedule, so I want her to talk about how she uses her time.
I was muted. So if you have a job, a job, or you go to school, you probably have way better productivity than I ever did. Because I had all day, I didn't get jack done. It's just this weird mindset. And you know, Amanda said something earlier, people are lazy. So are we. We can be that way too if we allow ourselves to be. It's a decision. And I don't know how many times I get down in a funk. We all do it. Every single person on this planet has those moments. They just don't feel like doing anything. So you have to make the most out of the time whenever you're super pumped, because we don't clock in and out. We should, but we don't. And we have to make, like she said, there's 24 hours in the day for everyone, and you can't manage time. You have to manage you. And so I heard that from Darren Daly, or one of the Darren Dailies or something like that a long time. I was like, my mouth like fell open. I'm like, oh, okay, that sounds right. But I'm so angry right now because that just disvalidates, or whatever that word is, all my excuses. I was not happy about that. But it's true. Like, you can do whatever you set your mind to. And so you've got to find the things in your life and in your day that are taking you away from the things you want out of life. Like, what do you want? That's it. Like, you know, I'm going to read this real quick before I go into completely answering that question based on what I do. Here's a book that I'm going to, when she said step away from personal development, I was like shaking my head like this. Don't do that. Because that's the only one thing out of everything she said I would say don't do. Because that's when you get depressed. That's when you feel like the world is all against you and everyone hates you. And I mean, there was times I wasn't doing personal development and I was like, I don't even want to bother Amanda about this, you know? And that's stupid. She's my rock. Like, she's my accountability. She's iron sharpens iron, right? And so of course the devil wants to be like, you don't want to tell anybody. This isn't the place you're at right now. You know, this is not the first time you've been here. So anyway, Without Rival is a great book. I wanted to recommend this book, and this is Lisa Bavera. And right before this call, I was listening to her and what she says, and what I'm learning from another book, which is called Spirit Driven Success, which is my absolute favorite book I've ever read, next to Purpose Driven Life. And then also The Best Yes. Okay, so I'm giving you. Oh, there's a mosquito in my house. Funny. It was big. It's like eat my head. I think just breathe on me and give me whatever that virus is. Okay, so the best yes is saying no. You have to learn to say no if you want to manage your time. Oh my gosh, if you've ever heard Chalene Johnson talk at all, she's always talking about how important it is to do what works best for you and do what's right for your family and prioritize your time around your priorities, what matters most to you. And if this business matters most to you, you're going to have to let other things go. If it either it's delegating, which I'm horrible about. I want to do it all. I want to save money. So it's not helping me anybody. So don't take my advice on that. But you have to learn to say no. And the thing from Lisa Bavera, I'm getting tired. Sorry. And I'm going to start rambling. Do everything you can with excellence. Do it with favor. Do it with all of your might. Do it with joy. Do it without complaining. And your diligence and your consistency and your faithfulness will continue to open up doors. What you can't do, and I said it earlier, what you can't do what you can do, and he will do what you can't. Yeah. You cannot do it all, so stop trying. That is why you don't have enough time to do the things that you should be doing, because the devil is distracting the crap out of you. He doesn't want you to go out and make a difference in the world. He doesn't want you to find these people that are desperate and down and out and have no zest for life. He doesn't want you to change them. He wants them stuck where they're. We are literally fighting a battle between good and evil, and I don't care if you believe that or not, it's true. Mm-hmm. And so if this is supposed to be truly helping people, this is your ministry, it cannot only be about those damn Success Club points.
Right.
And the rank. All that stuff will come when you're doing the right thing for the right reasons. So with all that said, my heart's like pounding out of my chest. Power hour, I do use a power hour, but I use it as a list like she was saying, and I've always called it, what do I call it, Amanda? My mind is on something else now. It's like chunking what she says, but
blitzing?
Blitzing, yes, I do a blitz. There, sorry, thank you. Blitzing. So on one day, it might be just sending out 50, like Miranda said, she send out 50 cold invites, or those invites to all the people that, so I'll just go through all my posts and all the likes and all the comments, I write them on the list, and I start the conversation with them, I connect with them, even if it's not a cold script invite or an actual invite, it's just reconnecting. And I'll do that all day long, and that's my focus. And I'll do it in the little pockets here and there when my kids are focused on what they're doing. And I also wake up earlier, not as early as I used to when they went to school. Praise God, homeschooling's a whole lot easier. It's not harder. See, that was a lie the devil was trying to get me to not do what I was called to do, is make me think that I was inadequate to do it, and I can run my business, and I can homeschool my children, and I can make the best use of my time, because he's taught me how to do that. I just never did it. So actually the thing I was running from is helping me in both of my areas, my priorities, which are my children and my business. Isn't that crazy? It's amazing how that works out when you start obeying. So just think of all the extracurricular activities that you're doing that are not moving your business forward, and you're going to have to make sacrifices now. You can't tell me any business owner in this planet or any person that's working a full-time job that doesn't make sacrifices. Usually they're the ones they don't want to make. You get the opportunity to make the sacrifices for things that don't really add value to your life anyway. And so you can do the things that actually add value to his kingdom. I mean, if you are leading this with the right heart and with the right intentions, and I will think of that word eventually. I wrote it down somewhere. Maybe it was during my Bible lesson this morning. But you have to have the right heart in this. And if you don't, maybe you need to pray about that first. And not worry about all the other stuff that you're hearing. And go back to the drawing board and say, God, is this really what I want? Is this really what you want for my life? This is really what I want. Show me how to use it correctly. Because we can be doing things with the wrong intentions. And it's because we live in a fallen world that everyone around us is trying to climb to the top. And even some of our best mentors that we look up to and aspire to be sometimes are not doing it the way that God has called you to do it. So that's why you can't mimic everything everyone else is doing. And I did it wrong for so long. Like, I didn't get the whole concept that I am uniquely made. And that's what she talks about in this book. You are uniquely made. We're not created equal. Mm-hmm. We're unique. That's why your story is important. That's why we need to recruit as many coaches as we can, because my story is not going to help everybody. Their story is not going to help everybody. God needs all of us working together to move things forward. And then spirit-driven success. Sorry, this is the last thing I'm going to say. Spirit-driven success says, she's talking about how the church has very little effect on the world. Very little. Guess who has more impact than anyone else? The people out in the workplace. That's where everyone else is. No one's in the church. So great, we go to church. Awesome. Take what you learned and use it and apply it out in your world, and let that be what you're using and focusing on, because a lot of people aren't going to church. They're not getting the message. Be the example. And so in your workplace, and she does seminars, and she kept saying that she just wanted to speak at church. I just want to get up and speak at church, this whole thing, this whole concept of it. I can help this church. And God's like, I already gave you your platform. Oh, it just gives me chills. This is our platform, you guys. This is what he gave you. Stop looking for something else. This is your platform. And he can use you wherever. So if this isn't what you want to do, he'll use you wherever you want to be.
right.
and don't force it, you know?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, amen, like amen, amen, hallelujah, amen. I'm so grateful to you girls. I can't tell you how much it means to me that you took time out tonight and to go long like this and to speak from the heart and be so passionate and so spirit-filled. I'm so grateful to you guys. Just as a quick note as we wrap up, that last topic about how many hours a week are you working your business, I was really trying to answer that for myself. I have no idea how many hours a week I work my business because I am obsessed with this. I don't watch TV. I don't get caught up cleaning out junk drawers. I don't volunteer at stuff that's not aligned with my passion. Everything that I do while Janice is mosquito hunting, everything I do 24/7 is how to reach more people, how to make a bigger impact, how to make a deeper, more meaningful impact. And so for me, I mean, if I'm asleep, I'm dreaming about it. As I wake up in the morning, I'm excited to be able to get done with the stuff I have to do so that I can start doing this. And so as far as working your business, when you're a new coach, it feels awkward and it feels hard. And so you don't know how to make sense of how to fit it all together. And so it feels like you need this concentrated time to sit down and work your business. But if you'll step back from that pressure and just realize that you living your Beachbody life is you working your business. When you drink your shake and you share about why and a couple ingredients that mean something to you, when you've done your workout and you share what kind of non-scale victory you had that day, maybe something you conquered in your workout. When you talk about what you're learning in personal development, when you talk about choosing to be on this call tonight as opposed to watching This Is Us on Hulu or wherever it is, when you talk about that, you are working your business. When you're driving in the car and you're listening to the National Wake Up Call and you learn some little piece from that inspires you to believe a little deeper and to have your conviction grow a little stronger, you're working your business. You know, today I was at the park with my daughter. She's riding her scooter and I'm running along beside her. That's working my business because I'm literally out there. I took a picture of her riding her scooter on the trail and I just posted it that I'm grateful and joyful. That's working my business because I'm showing I'm an active mom out there with my kid at the park. I'm not sitting on the bench on my phone. I'm out there running alongside her while she's riding her scooter. So quit overcomplicating it. Like you do your life, post about it, share about it. And that's you working your business. And then you do need to sit down. You can chunk it, do it in, 2 or 3 days out of the week where you sit down for an hour and you send out invitations to other mommies out there, other women who you want to have this life with you. And just don't overcomplicate it. So anyway, all right, guys, we have got to wrap up. Obviously, the three of us as speakers and coaches are so of the same heart. Thank you guys for sharing your time, your wisdom, your soul with us. I know the coaches that are still on and the coaches who will grab this as a recording are super grateful to you guys. Please let me know when I can pay it forward to you and your teams. I would love to do that with you guys and be able to bring this to your teams. I'll post a recording probably sometime tomorrow. I'm going to bed. Love you guys. Thanks again. Thanks to those of you that are still on and who grab this later. Yeah. Good night, everybody.